everyone, so second video review for this week is for Kickback by KJ. I have posted my Goodreads review just the other day, so if you want to check that out, if you're on YouTube there is a link in the description below, and if you are on Facebook or on my blog then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Kickback by KJ. This was fantastic and really passionate for a story. You could tell that a lot of care and research and time and passion has gone into this. So it's a story that follows Sophia. She's a football player in the AFL, which is the Australian Football League, and she meets Cameron, who has been appointed as obviously she's a journalist, but she's been appointed to write up a few reports during their season. And instantly there is tension between Sophia and Cameron, because it's so obvious to Sophia that the thing that she is most passionate about, most dedicated to, Cameron has no idea about. She has no clue about the sport, and her articles aren't going to be about it either. So they're instantly off on that really intense sort of, I can't even describe it, like they just have that instant dislike of one another, I guess, because they find each other very highly wired, and they're both very passionate in some respects, but sort of outraged but attracted to one another is the best way I could think to describe it. But Sophia and Cameron, they survive that initial tension, and they form a bit of a friendship when they realise there's more to both of them than they first sort of assumed, and that something else is afoot as well that they can uncover. So within the league something's not right, and they're both getting that vibe. So they work together, they strive for the truth, and they're, perhaps finally getting that relationship that they both thought they could never have. But they really do have an amazing sort of tension between them for a lot of this book. Cameron's sort of holding back, and Sophia's attracted but unsure, I guess is the best way to put it. But she's really confident. Like, Sophia's super confident. And I loved how diverse this story was, because not only did it focus on that relationship and romance between Sophia and Cameron, which really sort of fell to a subplot in some respects, because the main premise of the story was to involve the sport and the media side of things, really, the running and the background of it, and how that is really an issue in the world, because it was kind of highlighting the downfalls of the sports world and the media industry, highlighting issues that sit behind women's sport, of it sort of being promoted in a sexualized way to be pushed mainstream, as well as other things sort of being used against it, if you like. It's not taken seriously like a man's sport. That's the overall message you're getting here, and whether that's the truth or not, whether that's still the case or not today, that has been the case in the past, and we know that, and it's really important to highlight these issues, that they do sit behind women's things. We can't just go out and do what the men do. There's always got to be some sort of underlying problem somewhere, and I think that was really important to bring to the story, and I loved how KJ made that a focus, comparing sort of the difference between how a women's sport is treated to a men's sport, even if it's the same sport. It was a really important message, and I adored how she used the media to highlight how the two work hand in hand to falsely report and portray images of something that has been sort of diminished in a way, past how it should be professionally promoted, because it should be. Sport is sport, and women play sport just as well as men, and that's an important message, and that is exactly what KJ was trying to get across in this. And it was really hard hitting, like really sort of sat with me when I was reading it, as I was like, yeah, this is, if you started to notice this, if you uncovered this, if you play, if you're involved in sport and you notice anything like this, it must be really hard for you to break down the boundaries and find out the truth, because let's face it, people are going to lie to you about it. And it was a real eye-opener, very insightful into the workings of sort of big corporations and the media, and it's something that a lot of us perhaps don't see, might not be aware of, we just don't notice it. I don't know, but it was just, we never see how powerful they are until somebody opens your eyes, and by reading this, you really got an insight into just how powerful people in charge of things are. It really made me think, and I love that. Like, when you get a story like this and you've got a romance, but there's something sitting there that's really sort of opening your eyes and making you think about the world. I think that's really important. And I think KJ did a great job. Like, I'm probably serious about it, and I'm sorry, because but it's something I'm quite, as I've read this book and it's still sitting with me. I'm still thinking about it now. It bugs me if this is happening. It bugs me that it is, because it shouldn't be happening at all. It's not necessary, not in today's modern society, not in today's world. It's just not right. So I love how KJ has made that a focus. I love how she's brought that to the forefront, and she's using a sports romance to promote something really important as well. Make her voice heard, make the player's voice heard, make Sophia's voice heard, and even Cameron's as a journalist, because she's also sort of trying to say, hey, I'm not going to write what you tell me to write. I'm going to write the truth. Why am I making stuff up? Why am I sugarcoating the truth? Why am I covering something? And that's good that she's asking those questions. She's not just following the lead and doing as she's told because she needs to keep a job. You know, it's really important that we stand up for what's right in the world, and that is a very big sort of message in the back of this story. So it was very insightful as a story, standing up for what's right, fighting big corporations in the name of things being fair, and learning about your morals, your own morals. I think that was also really important for both Sophia and Cameron. They were learning about how to sort of accommodate everyone and be accepting and listen to what other people have to tell you, understand other people's thoughts and feelings, like your friends, your colleagues, and that you shouldn't make assumptions about people either, because you don't really know from the first impression why they don't know something or why they're hesitant with something, or you should get to know people. And it was a very realistic, heartfelt and important story, and it highlights the modern day issues and promotes for fighting for the truth and happiness and equality. And so for me, I think that's a really important message, and I think it's something that everyone should read, just to really understand. But I think it's definitely an enjoyable story, and you would enjoy the romance side of it too, but it will give you pause for thought, and I like that about a book. I love a book that makes me think about something more than just two people falling in love. It's important, and it shows real talent. So I really enjoyed this book. I really hope you will too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Kickback by KJ. If you've read Kickback by KJ, please let me know what you thought of it. Please let me know what you thought of the messages. How did it affect you reading it? Did it give you pause for thought? What were you thinking about? If you haven't read it yet and you're interested in reading it, it's on you to be read list, or you're now interested in reading it having heard this review, it would be really great to hear your thoughts on it as well. And if you do grab a copy, I hope you enjoy it. Bye.